fucking hell. Welcome, everybody, from YouTubeX and Rumble, mostly Rumble. On something other than Rumble, I question your sanity and why you're here, because, quite frankly, if you watch on things like YouTube or if you're following us on something like Facebook, you're a fool. They're out for censorship. Speaking of Elon Musk at X, do better. You're fucking late, Mike. You know what? Not the time or the place, Mike. By the way, I meant to text you. I forgot. Hey,
you're late.
Welcome to the world of Dave. I'm kind of like Ryan.
Fuck it, we do.
I'm a little bit like Ryan, but I'm.
Dave's prudent.
You do it late. We're doing it. I don't care. You know what? I am late, but here's what we're going to talk about today. Buff Mike, mind your fucking business, Mike. Mike seems like a good dude. I like Mike.
He is. It's going to be amazing.
CNN CNN has indicated that inflation. There's an article we're going to go over. Don't worry, inflation's over. It's done. Unrelated to inflation being over, price gouging. Kamala Harris wants to fix price gouging with price fixing. So price gouging, price fixing. We're getting into those things.
Oh, David.
We're going to talk about Monkeypox, which we may have called what?
That sounds like the Cheerio story,
what?
David. That's the Cheerio story.
Listen, maybe a little. We have to call it Monkeypox though because monkeypox is racist, right? Social Security has gone through a software. I'm sorry, it was hacked. I'm just so used to them calling it a software update. It was a hack. They actually admitted it was a hack. Ryan, your show that we teased for a long time, you were going to have a separate show on Rumble. It was going to be the pro guy misogyny podcast, something along those lines. I don't remember. We're gonna have to look into that. The UK would not like us for that. You would be a terrorist. DailyWire, there's some leaked information from employees at DailyWire that they're going downhill. So we're gonna look into that. Should we talk potentially? Is it talk additional women, congressional conservatives? Apparently they like posting in bathing suits now, I guess. I don't know if that's the whole thing they're doing. Hey, Ryan, have you seen that?
Seen what?
The congressional conservative women, they like to post bathing suit pictures now online. We should look for research purposes. Just for research.
For the record, I'm simply going to look because
right.
They simply, David, are using these as means to get reelected, just like that girl in New Zealand that I got accused of meddling in foreign elections for. Clearly, you only take your clothes off.
Well, you did.
When you win.
You were also misogynistic. And again, you're going to go to jail in UK.
I really
Candace
can't
Owens has a clip circulating.
Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Well, Candace Owens says that's it. Candace Owens has a clip. We're going to have to get into that. So, I think personally, I'd like to get into this price gouging, price fixation thing first, Ryan. Tim Pool set the internet on fire because he said that price fixing, from the government standpoint, is communism. And he's right. I like when Tim Pool's right because I want Tim Pool to be right and on our team. He was correct about this. Ryan, you look like I still don't know if it's me, but you look like a half-naked thumbnail. Look, you're running for Congress right now.
See, David, I am a trendsetter. I came on this program and I talked about how this was the future, and now here we are. Podcasters will be half clothed. We are half OnlyFans and half information. I am the hybrid of many mediums, David. A rare case of a human being here.
You are a rare case. I'm going to take you down until you're a moving man. I don't know what else to. You know what? I could put you up. You want to be half naked?
Yeah.
One in the chat if you want half naked, Ryan.
Come on, let's see the chat. Buff Mike is definitely.
Well, now you're no man. Is he a one guy? I don't think he's putting one for that.
I don't know. It's the only
he's
man
a
I've
buff
ever.
Guy. He wants people to be buff.
So what do you want from me?
You don't. You don't need enough protein, Ryan. You need at least probably. You need protein. Price gouging. Yeah, Tim Pool set the internet on fire. Said price gouging was communism, and he's right. Let's quickly break down why this is communism. It's not gonna take a very long time to figure this out.
That Dave has bad.
To put it simply, in order to price fix, Ryan, you are suffering from my poor internet. One day, we're gonna make enough money where I can afford good internet. But for now,
dude, I'm gonna rent a warehouse and make a fucking studio that's like 7 billion square feet.
You're gonna have to be.
Make the hugest podcast in the history of podcast studios just to make you look small. Fucking echo of a fucking cave for a podcast. So echo in there. This fine?
No.
You're gonna echo and get lost in my brain.
This is what happens when Ryan.
See, this is what happens. They don't. Poor Jordan Peterson.
I'm getting bits and pieces. I don't know if it's you. It could be you. I feel like I fixed my internet. Does anybody seem like my internet's bad? I don't know. Mine seems decent. Ryan seems like he's missing. So we're just going to keep pushing away here. Price gouging, to put it simply, at least the price fixation concept of price gouging, in order to control the prices in the market, requires government influence in the market. And quite frankly, that seems to me to be the definition of communism. Right there?
Yes, I am here.
Man, I don't know. This is... Oh, you're moving again.
I'm here, David. Can you hear me?
Moving around? Hey! Look at this. Right, drive closer to somewhere where you have internet. But don't drive to my house because there ain't internet here.
Do I need to drive somewhere?
I don't know. You got very delayed signal. The tough thing is when we're both on separate internet. If we could both be bad, it could just be you, it could just be me, and I'm not sure which.
Do we do mobile podcasts like the old days, David?
Well, you are mobile. Where are you going?
Oh, just take it somewhere with better internet.
Ryan is literally leaving. He's leaving. He's taking off. We're in the middle. Ryan is literally going to drive around town. This is an experience for everybody. I hope everyone's excited about this.
Yeah, this is the old way.
You could literally go somewhere.
So what are we doing? What's the show?
You don't know.
Go so.
What is this show? We're talking about price gouging, right?
All right, price gouging. Sounds great.
Wherever you want.
What did Tim Pool even say about price gouging? Wherever I am is worse.
He said that it was communism.
I'm in confined space, Dave. Well, how do we not think it's communism? What is their even stance? What's their stance on that being that it's not communism? Like, I don't understand the Democrats' even perspective on something that, like price gouging. What are they saying? To keep costs the same cost all the time?
Well, okay, so let's back up to the theory of what they think. They think that the reason prices are high is not because of inflation, because let's not forget that we print piles of money and don't have any form of way to back it up. It's based on our economy, basically. You literally had this much gold, we could print this much money. That's kind of how it worked. But now it's based on our GDP. So if your economy isn't good and you print a pile of money and you can never pay it back and then you borrow a bunch of money. So you print a bunch of money, you borrow a bunch of money, you tax people out of a bunch of money, and then you constantly spend even more money than all of that. Your money becomes very useless, and that drives inflation, which is people on the right have been saying that for a while. We say you can't just print all this money and then spend to oblivion and expect everything to be okay. So in order to fight against that, of course. So in order to fight against that, people on the left have been saying, well, it's not that. All of what you're saying is wrong. It's not that that's causing your money to have no value. What it is it's all these big businesses who just jack up their prices and make massive profit margins. That's what's driving the high prices. So what we should do, don't fix all the printing and spending of the money and the borrowing and the taxing. Don't fix all of that. Solely focus on the businesses and then fixate on what they're doing. Only allow them to sell things at certain expensive. Ryan will only allow milk to be sold at $3. The bread's expensive, Ryan. You've been complaining about the bread forever. Only let bread be sold for $2. That's price fixing. There's two problems with price fixing. One, you are completely interfering in the market, which is why it's communism. This thing, we talked about this during COVID because Trump had done this, and I was against it when Trump did it as well. When you fixate the price of something, you can lead to shortages. That's the market correcting itself. So when everybody ran out of toilet paper, the way to fix that would be more toilet paper. It's pretty simple economics, right? It's you either have more toilet paper or you make it more expensive. So then you're not going to have people running around buying $50 toilet paper, right? If it's $10, they're going to buy it up and resell it to people. It's $50. It's not worth their time. So it's not a great situation, but I'll tell you what, it's a better situation then is having no toilet paper. So they want to go in, fixate the prices. If you do that, you're going to drive down, in their theory, you're going to drive down the prices and then everyone's going to have a good case. But that's not how it's going to work. The only way to do it is fix it on the back end, which is stop printing all the money, stop borrowing all the money, stop taxing everyone to oblivion, and then stop spending all the money. Here's an idea. For example, the $100 billion we sent to Ukraine, don't. The money we're sending to Israel, don't. The money we're sending to the Middle East, don't. The money that we're sending to NATO, stop. I'm sure we spend money at the UN for some reason. Don't. Global treaties and courts. Stop throwing your money around the world. That's a good fix. Don't make government fix it. Make government fix it the other way.
I don't know. It just seems silly. This is the same. This reminds me of, like I said, David, that it's like the Cheerios thing that they make in Buffalo is actually more in the place they make it than where I can buy it, 7 states away. Like, that doesn't make sense either. And, this has always been the thing about government, right? They create the problem, they pose the solution, and then they act as the savior. When really, if they just got out of the way to begin with, a lot of this shit wouldn't happen. And the shame, really, David,
well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and the way they cover their ass is by just calling it inflation. Say, like inflation is probably like a culmination of all that stuff that you described, David. The government printing money, yes, but like spending too much money. They're also sending money everywhere. Like all that, like the hidden tax. It's an understatement to call it a hidden tax, almost.
Yeah, for sure. It's all that for sure. But I don't know personally.
Not even like a partisan issue. This is
why.
Just like literally, I don't know like why. I don't know why like we don't understand this. Like people say government doesn't. I remember, David, when we first started talking about all this stuff, that they said that politics doesn't matter. And we've literally watched bread triple in my lifetime. It's not going to get cheaper. For anybody playing the bingo board at home, if you think bread is magically going to get cheaper when they now have you spending $7 for a loaf of bread instead of $3 like you were before, you're out of your mind. They're just gonna keep you at the price, just like $400,000 houses that are only really worth like 150. Just get used to buying things and then eating the loss every time you go to sell it, because your shit is not worth how much you're spending on it. You think the value that you get something is worth the value. That's why you think Lululemon and the Target leggings are different quality when they're made in the same factory and they change one emblem on them. You know, and to go full circle, to say that it's psychology to the nth degree, they've literally marketed everything so well that you don't even know that it's psychology.
Well, that's exactly right. You know what's interesting? Some of these Mr. Beast videos that are circulating online, it's people who don't like. A lot of the attacks I've seen are like people who don't like his marketing, and it's interesting because I'm watching this as someone who's been in business and been on the marketing side and done all this, and like he's doing very basic marketing tactics, and a lot of marketing and sales tactics are entirely based in human psychology, because people a long time ago figured out that if I understand the human brain, I can understand how to manipulate it. Now, you can use manipulate, you can see that as a negative or a positive if you'd like, but the fact is it's neither negative nor positive. It's just a fact that if you understand human, you know how to control it, how to predict its behaviors. That's why people go around saying things like humans don't have free will. It's not that humans don't free will. Every human can make a choice one way or the other. It's the fact that a lot of humans are predictable in their actions and behavior. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no, I sent you
just pissed me off,
a
David.
picture
Fuck
from
Sam
the book
Harris,
I was reading,
the
right?
guy that's super educated and can sit there and fucking meditate. Oh, I'm not on Twitter. I just went on there and I can do all these podcasts and then not be on the internet. What? You don't have free will? You just have the superior genes, you prick? Oh, he runs a podcast and says, fuck you, man. I hate this shit. Just climb in the pod and eat the bugs, Dave.
I sent Ryan
a beat that guy to a brick. Oh, he does jujitsu. I don't
from a
care.
book I was reading, and it very simply says, like, it very simply states, people. It's not that people don't have free will; it's that some people have strong wills and some people have weak wills, and that's exactly right. The weak will is interpreted as, which, by the way, is the common man. I'm just being honest. The common man has a will. The rare man has strong will, which is why Ryan jokes and says that there's not a jury of his peers, because the average man is a weak man. Now, with that said, that's why marketing works, because the average man is a weak-willed person. This is why sales tactics work. Average man is a weak-willed person, and you can manipulate certain tactics. So, with all that said, the same thing is done in politics too, by the way. Everybody knows to attack human psychology, because once you understand people, you can control people. Absolutely. Interestingly, though, I did want to get into this article from CNN because I saw this, and this is just, I literally couldn't believe I was reading this. It's one of those articles I like to break down. I'm going to put it up on the screen real quick. This article, by the way, is interesting. The timing of Kamala Harris running around saying she's going to fixate on prices. I don't know, because quite frankly, inflation's over. The war on inflation has been won, and it's okay if you're still angry. This is an opinion piece by CNN. Actually, is it an opinion piece? Does it say opinion piece on here? Because this is an opinion, right? It doesn't say it's an opinion piece. I'll give it the title. Analyst Allison Morrow.
David, isn't it all opinion when it's paid television programming with advertisement companies that have trillion-dollar budgets?
Well, it is paid advertising. This one here, if you click, you get a copy of the Confessions of a Hedge Fund Analyst. So that's probably cool.
Just one of them?
The morning.
This morning. You ask all the other tens of millions of hedge fund analysts for their little private free book if you subscribe to their little ad revenue blocker, or just the one guy? You just trust the one guy. Confessions of a hedge fund
This morning, economists got something they've been waiting for 3 years, an absolute snooze fest of an inflation report. It was probably the dullest CPI we've had in a long time, wrote Bloomberg senior editor Chris Yancey. It's tame, benign. Some of the adjectives that analysts use to describe the consumer price influx reading for July. It is the ultimate no news good report, wrote Chris Zaccarelli, Chief Investment Officer for Independent Advisor Alliance. Well, some of the stuff I want to get into on this is fucking incredible. For all us non-economists, it's worth taking a moment to pump our fists in the air. And if any of you greater DC area residents see Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell at the coffee shop, go ahead and high five him. This is an article from CNN. They're not biased.
High five.
No bias.
High five, Jerome Powell.
Yeah, go give him a high five.
Unbiasedly
high five, of course, because we're just reporting the facts here at CNN.
This is super peaceful asking to high five him in the face with a chair, Dave. It's super peaceful, of course. YouTube.
Now,
dude, can you imagine? The only way I see the United States China is to get extradited to the country for saying some shit on the internet. Where's Ryan? In China? I don't know. He's in a slave labor camp.
We're gonna get extradited to the UK. Remember? We're going to the UK.
The fuck you are. Good luck. Extradite. How? How does that even
Just
work,
last week,
dude?
We talked about it.
How's that even work?
Make sure you high five Jerome Powell with it.
I have more freedom here than fucking England. How does that work? I can say what I have to say. The freedom of speech, David. It makes zero sense. Imagine if China was mad at me for freedom of speech. Wait a minute. That's right. Sorry, Dave. They don't hate us because of us. You know, they hate us because of our freedoms.
Well, let's get into why they're saying this is such a good inflation report, Ryan.
Super good. David, remember when they said there was
the fact that inflation has fallen 2.9% from over 9% in just 2 years.
They changed the term recession. They changed the definition
they did.
Of recession during this presidency to cover for the inflation numbers and the downturn in the economy that, quote, didn't happen.
Yeah, but it's okay, Ryan.
And now there's a fucking economic upturn and all the jobs are created. Jobs are created because people are getting 2 jobs, Joe Biden.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. It dropped. Listen. Well, they dropped inflation without causing a recession. That's great.
I can't wait till Kamala Harris is elected president so she can finally step in and be powerful, David, because she's clearly not in any position of power in government right now to influence the current administration. She has to wait till November to do something. Just like Trump. Her and Trump are in the exact same positions, David.
Now, this is where CNN starts to do some actual reporting. Now that we have the celebration out of the way, says CNN, let's turn to the reason inflation still feels. They even have the text different. Still feels like it's got us in a chokehold, even as prices moderate for essentials like food and gas and travel. In short, the CPI is an average, which means some things are getting cheaper and others are not, Ryan. Unfortunately, this is CNN. This is the headline. Remember the headline. Great news. Inflation's gone. You can feel bad about it if you want, but it's gone. Nothing to worry about. Here's CNN further down in the same article. Unfortunately, many of the things you simply can't avoid spending money are the things that are going up. I don't even want to read the rest of the article. What are those things? Food, shelter, vehicles? What are we high-fiving?
Job, go high-five Jerome Powell, David.
Go high-five them. You still can't afford the things you normally buy. Go give them a high five. Me? Is this article? The headline. Inflation's gone. Don't worry about it. The article, 5 paragraphs down. Oh, by the way, all the things you normally buy are still fucking expensive. I can't believe that you cannot hate the mainstream media enough. And you know why they do this, Ryan? We used to do a segment on the show forever ago. It was called The Headlines. And the whole point of it was because their headlines and their articles never fucking match. Because they know you people, you weak-willed average man, don't read the article. You read just the headline. That's marketing. That's psychology. They're not going to waste their time. They're going to write the doomsday headline. The article is going to be totally different than the headline. Go read the articles. It's the same thing they do. They'll accuse somebody of something, and then that'll get billions of views online, and then they'll be like, we're wrong. The retraction statement gets 1,000 views. That's not an accident.
Yo, inflation's down. High five. Well, what's cheaper? Cell phones, TVs. All right. So, like, is there anything that stayed like expensive? Oh yeah, stuff definitely.
No shit you buy, not groceries.
Yeah, but like what? Like milk and eggs? Yeah, and cheese and your rent and utility bills and gas. The cost of the electric car that you're gonna have to buy. Don't worry about it.
Child.
Does anybody think that
insurance.
a $70,000 electric car is $70,000 now? Like, what's it gonna be in 5 years when you have to switch?
That's not listed as an opinion.
The only people that win right now are
an article like that. CNN has an article. CNN has an article. It's not an opinion article. And in the article, they're running around talking about high-fiving the Fed chairmans. Are you kidding me? CNN, what are you doing?
Never be able to see that guy. Can't afford the gas to drive.
This is ridiculous.
Eat that for me to even have influence enough to touch the guy's hand. Fucking prick. That's how you know they shit all over you. And I wouldn't doubt if that was made by a computer. So they can triple fuck off.
No doubt. It was probably AI. Whatever the fuck her name was. She's probably not even real. I literally. I'm so mad when I was reading that article. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Kamala is fixing the prices so inflation doesn't exist. That already doesn't exist. You're referring to the things that you buy. Jesus Christ. We talked. I mean, this isn't new to us. For the record, we've talked about this before.
David, price fixing the things that keep going up because inflation is happening because they print money to fucking oblivion. Holy shit. That is literally the definition of cross-spectrum dominance. They say it's not happening. It's definitely happening. And then when it happens, their solution is to do something that is going to not, first of all, not do it. Second off, make it worse. And third of all, their solution is even to make it more worse. Yeah, we'll print money. So then you print money so the shit costs more money. And then you're like, well, we'll just price fix the shit so that it doesn't cost as much money. So then all the people that now have all the money now have to take. And Walmart can afford to take the pay cut, for the record. But Mr. Local best bread ever made, farm to table, chicken and rooster guy can't. It's how you make hyper cities. This is you force.
Well, that's a good point.
Live on 99 cents of bread, okay? Walmart wants this. That's what people, when they're like the rich, got to pay their fair share. They want to. Because, look, it's have and have nots. The people right now that can afford stuff are the wealthy. Everybody else is operating with debt, okay? I don't care. But they can buy shit at a super low price right now because everybody's trying to capitalize on the way everything is. It's uncertain, whatever it is, whatever it is. But it's not, that's why they're buying stuff. Like, look at car dealerships and look at what businesses are opening. Look at the new construction. Look at who's building what. Drive around. Look around. The Bill Stadium. I'm hearing stuff about another stadium. The Perry Projects in Buffalo got tore down. All this stuff's happening during election year. That's odd. It's just like everybody's taking all their money, David, and just dumping it into stuff right now. That's weird. Just all at once, right? All these people, criminally, all the people with the money right now are just making stuff happen out of nowhere. There's been nothing. Slow economic downturn for years. Inflation record high for years. But now they're doing it. That's odd. Yeah, and then they price locked the
thing.
thing.
That's an interesting point too, because they did They did deny that inflation was an issue for a long time. People were running around like people like us were running around for a long time saying like, dude, like the price of things is insane. Milk and bread and basics, groceries, and then it hit the social media wave. This is one of the things that social media is great for. I mean, people were posting like their grocery receipts saying like, oh my God, can you believe how much groceries are? I'm spending $400 a month when I used to spend $200 a month. It's literally twice as expensive. I'm making less money. I'm getting taxed more. Like something has to change. The Democrats have now acknowledged it. Now, conveniently, to your point, in a year, have acknowledged it, and they've come up with a game plan on how to fix it. If you elect Kamala, even though Kamala currently is the vice president for the current president, she's in the administration now. Fix it. Go fix it. You think this is going to work? It's not. If you think this is going to work, work it. Go do it. These people
98 other Nobel Peace Prize
know what they're doing. It's based on human psychology entirely. The same thing Mr. Beast is getting attacked for with his bad marketing practices is the same thing that politicians do when they market themselves to you. That's what being a politician is. It's marketing you yourself. It's making your appearance look good. I guess
people are saying that like politicians are stupid and they lie to you. Ben Shapiro, the guy that is I can't wait to hear some of these articles, but the guy that's unzipping right now. But all these people are saying all this thing are lying to you, and it's just all by accident, dude. They're sawing your legs off while they're doing it. They're saying, no, I don't have a saw. No, I'm not sawing your legs off. No, you didn't lose a whole like the entire time. And then after they sew it back on and say, without me, you wouldn't have legs. This is crazy. This is crazy. And it's not an understory, David, because the legs they're actually sewing off, David, one leg is your personal freedom, your liberty, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. And the other one is your economic, your country, your borders, that stuff, like the physical embodiment. Liberty can't even stand, David. America can't even stand. You just hacksawing them off. And I'm told that I get upset. Oh, he's just passionate. No, they're fucking spying on me. And then they're rigging the economy. You know why Kamala Harris and Trump are polling exactly even? They have the algorithm to source the polls to the numbers to get 50%, assholes. No, you're upset, Ryan. No, they're rigging elections. They lied about inflation. I'm watching them rig another election in America's lifetime. I think I'm underestimating that. It's just Veep, Ryan. Kamala Harris is in power, was never favorable, didn't get a single electoral delegate, but she has a 50% chance winning the guy that had $2 gas. You are out of your mind. I'm not dumb. Politics don't matter. Gas is $4. No, look how popular she is. Where? I didn't see one Biden sticker in a fucking hotbed of Democrats. I live in the Battle State area of the suburbs. Oh, the suburban house. No, it's not the suburban housewives. That's where you pull the damn polls to twist people's arms all year. Oh, look at the swing state. Do you know it's the same swing states they stole last time, David? This is Georgia and Michigan. Don't fucking worry about it. No, I wonder if they fixed the law since last time, considering laws get removed all the time, David. They always just remove laws, especially the election ones. They make it super hard to vote every year, David. You can vote every day of every year, no matter where you live, as long as you got an internet connection. I seen a dead lady file for a fucking mortgage with a dead person. I'm surprised she didn't get it. We're at that level of voting. I'm watching them rig elections and lie about inflation for 4 years straight. Sorry, man. It's bullshit. It's a lie.
No,
it's a lie. I'm watching.
It's perfect.
Did you see the numbers of the Ilhan Omar thing, David? It went from like within an hour they counted all the votes. They just counted millions of votes. Oh, it's digital, so it happens faster. My phone shows me 1% before it shows me 99. But our voting machines don't. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. My gas gauge doesn't just go empty to full. There's a whole bar in between there, too. They're just digital votes. No, they're a physical representation of a physical person's opinion. Politics don't matter, David. Neither does your opinion. So your vote don't matter because your opinion don't matter, and neither does politics. Politicians don't care. They just fucking can price fix how much my bread's going to be. I can't wait until they price fix $1 million for a loaf of bread in America, David, because it's going to be $4 million. Minimum wage is going to be $4 million an hour. I can't wait, David. We'll all be millionaires and still be broke. And then they'll tell you, David, that even millionaires are unhappy. You always hear that. Oh, the rich are unhappy. See, you're rich. You're millionaires. Inflate my currency until I have to be a millionaire, you bastards. I'm sorry, David. I'm tangenting. It's bullshit. I sat here seeing this all week. There's no way that woman is polling because they hate Trump. I watched you almost kill him. In a battleground state.
That was weeks ago, right?
Dude, Trump went to Harlem and held a rally and New York is blue. You're out of your mind. No, you're a little too much. No, I'm just watching them. So they told you inflation was 9%. I remember when we talked about a program, it being like 5%, and they were lying to you. It's actually double that. How much was Cheerios in South Carolina, David? And then here we are, price fixing.
Like $6.
Yeah, so my Cheerios are $6. They would be $6.
They're $9.
$12 for a box of syrup.
But if we were,
life, it just doesn't even make
you
the city.
can,
Literally, it's cheaper to drive down to the city of Buffalo to smell the
You can
box
fix
of
that.
Cheerios than to fucking buy it, David.
You can fix that with it.
I seen an article.
You-
Further, David. I seen an article that talks about how 1 in 4 Americans have shoplifted. And I don't know the years or the study margin. Of course you're shoplifting when everything's expensive. That's not indicative of a downturn in the economy. Now, everything's fine. People just shoplifting.
Well, they literally raised the standard for what like petty shoplifting is to what is it, like $1,000 in California. So like imagine stealing $1,000, $999 worth of things in California, and everyone being like, "Meh, you're all right."
Like a cell phone.
Unbelievable. You know, you made an interesting point too about Kamala Harris. Does everyone not remember president? Do people remember this? She primaried with the Democrats. She was laughed out of the primaries. Nobody liked her. She was like the most unlikable person on stage. We posted a reel on our Facebook, John did, and like it was Tulsi Gabbard just laying into Kamala Harris. Like, do people not remember that Kamala Harris was so hated? And now 4 years later, now she's loved and adored. She's packing airports. Watch out on that runway. You won't even be able to get the plane off the runway because there's so many people there. This is what they want us to believe. It's bullshit. I talked about it last week, maybe the week that everything is an illusion. It's all a simulation. So when they do steal it, it doesn't look suspicious. I'm not buying it. I won't buy it. You're full of shit. You're stealing the election again. You're just getting slightly smarter about it this time because last time I think you did it in haste, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think it was a well put together plan. They are definitely thinking it over. And that's because they've had some practice now. They did one here. They've done them over in Europe. They've stolen a couple elections. They're stealing one in Venezuela. Like they're getting good at it. The elites, we talk about them. They're getting pretty good at it. So this time around in America, it's not going to look suspicious.
Yeah, they're the gold medal champs of stealing the elections by now, dude.
They're getting pretty good.
Yeah, no, the voting machine just calculated all in 1 minute, millions of votes within a minute. It's just zero chance of fraud, David. Obviously, everything ever. Though they tell me that a software update shut down the entire American's economy and internet with the software update from a global security company that's never been heard about, that is based in Ukraine. until it went dark. But trust the voting machines.
Ryan, do you remember when they stole the election last time in the United States? There was
Clearly, David, of course.
There was a virus going
David, of course.
around that was very pivotal in stealing the election. And for those who don't remember, it was COVID. This unrelated to what I just said. The WHO has declared monkeypox as a pandemic again. It's again declared as a global monkeypox. Take the vaccine. It's becoming a problem over in Africa, I believe, as all sexually transmitted diseases are. Yes,
if
that's started a global pandemic. Again, I don't know for those who remember or don't remember. We talked a while back how the WHO had this new cool thing that they could do where they could just declare openly and abruptly they can declare pandemics and totally control government over it. I'm sure that's unrelated to this as well. The other thing to note about monkeypox is that it's literally like only attacking gay people for whatever reason. Some people are saying maybe it's a side effect of the COVID vaccine, but I don't think it's that because again, only gay people are getting attacked. That seems unlikely. I don't know. To me personally, I think it could be a problem in Africa, maybe, not denying it, but it certainly isn't a problem here. And I certainly don't give a fuck if the WHO has declared it a global pandemic again. I'm going to keep my eye out, as I suggest all of you do, because nobody wants to last minute say, well, it was monkeypox, right? I don't want to say that. I want to call it out now. That way we're prepared going forward. If you want to be prepared going forward, everybody, and Ryan, in the fucking we're talking about, a lot of people, not to trump this thing, the best people say that gold is what you need. I have some gold. Ryan probably has some silver because he doesn't do enough ad reads. We recently had some monumental news that no one is talking about. For the first time ever, the interest the U.S. pays on its debt has surpassed every individual budget item except Social Security, which was software updated recently. That's right. The U.S. now spends more on interest than on national defense or even Medicare. And it's only getting worse as big government continues to spend. So we just need to price fix the milk. That's why savvy Americans are turning to gold, something not tied to the inflated dollar. You can too, with the help of Birch Gold Group. For over 20 years, Birch Gold has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their retirement savings, converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. To learn more, go to birchgold.com/rumble and get a free, no obligation info kit on diversifying your retirement into a gold IRA. Birch Gold has earned an A+ rating with the BBB and thousands of happy customers. Protect your IRA or 401k. Go to birchgold.com/rumble to get your free info kit on gold today. I got to tell you, Birch Gold, pretty wordy for what you're paying out. Not complaining. I'm sure it's a great product. It's gold, so it can't be a bad product. Little wordy, Birch Gold. Just go to birchgold.com/rumble. Ryan, now that I've done that quality ad read, maybe we can buy some better internet. What do you think about the fags in Africa getting Mpox? I said Mpox because I didn't want to be racist. I don't want to be racist.
I love how he glossed over fag. If that monkey farm in New Orleans, where was it, Georgia?
Ryan, you can't say that.
I swear to God, I will drive down to that monkey farm and punch all the monkeys in the face. That better not be a gain-of-function facility.
It has to tie together, right? Why else would it be in the news?
David, it's not like they were harvesting 500,000 monkeys or something when it's full operation. Inflation's at record high. People can't afford houses, but we got money to buy a fucking plot of land and put monkeys there for quote pharmaceutical purposes.
Was it Bill Gates' land that was purchased? Was it Bill Gates who did it? We didn't look super into it. We just knew there was a monkey farm coming. Bill Gates has to be tied into it.
Just talked about it and laughed forever. It was like a video on a monkey farm. It's amazing. They gotta be tied though. There's no way. You know, and it's not the only monkey farm they're building. Like, let's be honest here.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up to date on the monkey farm.
Dude,
honestly.
there's no way they drew for a monkey farm for only one of them. I'm telling you, they're like the solar field that I worked on is the same solar field that all other solar fields have. They just go, all right, we just got to change these couple things. Like, they're not spending all this money to survey land and spend all this time of architects drawing these elaborate plans and figure out how much wattage and all the power needed to fuel these facilities and water and air quality and fucking HVAC capability and securing all the glass for the build. There's no way to just build one. The only people building.
I'd like to point out that I've noticed
big business, like commercial real estate. Like, there's not private people building buildings right now, dude. Unless they got some kind of money or some kind of home equity loan, I'd imagine, or something. It's like, this is.
Well, maybe they invested in Birch Gold.
Yo, put that ad read on your face, all right? Before I hear about Birch Gold again.
I always get it's tricky because, like, there's nothing for R, right? It's only for L. So I only know what the left is, but I can't figure out what the right is because that doesn't make an R. It's just confusing. Ryan, you know what I've noticed about our audience? Our live viewership goes up a little bit at like 9 o'clock. I think that's an indication of degenerates. So I'm not calling you guys out, but I think you guys are degenerates. Which you've come to the right place.
Because they should
Ryan,
be sleeping.
Social Security recently had gone through. They've gone through a software update. Ryan, do I have this story correct?
Well, it's interesting they called it a hack and update, David. It's weird when it's the power grid or the airports or cell phone data. It's a update issue. AT&T suffer. So they called it out as a hack right away.
Flat out said it was a hack.
Yeah, it's kind of odd when they've been saying everything else is a software update. Nord Stream blew up on its own, David.
So, bad software update. Definitely not the CIA, Ryan.
Definitely plug in the pipe and unplug it and plug it back.
How about when the vice presidential nominee was for the Libertarian, when Dr. Mike Termott? How about when he was on? He was talking about Nord Stream. We're like, oh yeah, we called that shit 1,000% when it happened. He's like, oh, good for you guys, dude.
As more information
that was the most obvious CIA attack to blow up their own pipeline.
Yeah, more information's coming out that there was some foul play. Yeah. Thanks, bud. We knew, dude. Believe me, we were out here swinging. I know you can't say nothing because you got a job to worry about, but believe me, I was getting censored on the internet for that one, David. I can't wait to see England's countryside, David, in the jails. I'll talk all British.
Yeah. Anyway, Social Security Act. All your information's out there. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Quite frankly, it's a big deal. But at what point do you not give a shit that your information's out there? I mean, seriously, truthfully, like with all of the mass metadata that's already gathered and stored in some facility somewhere, with all of that information that's already out there, the Amazon sidewalk, right? Your global positioning through GPS on your cell phone, like, they track you down everywhere. They know your credit card spendings. They know exactly where you've been all the time. They always know where you are. They know I'm in a basement right now. They know I'm in the studio bunker talking to Ryan. They know where Ryan is. They know everything. They use it for their human psychology marketing tactics that only Mr. Beast is bad for. They know everything about you. At what point do I not give a shit that my security information's been hacked? It doesn't matter. What do you need to know? If you're gonna hack me, just do it already. You have everything you need. I promise you.
Well, David, that Social Security number you're gonna need when you get your Social Security check in the mail, David.
It's not gonna be there. I don't care. I got Birch Gold. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You've already bankrupted the system. The dollar is worthless, and it's always worth less the next day. That's why smart people invest in assets, gold, houses, not cars. The smart people invest in appreciating assets. That's why they buy land in buildings. Those are the things that you need. The average person, the Dave Ramsey person, does 401ks. I get it. It works. You do hedge against inflation a little bit. But nobody leaves thousands of dollars sitting in a bank account because it's always worth less the next day. There's no reason to do it. You're not going to steal anything from me. The dollar is useless. What am I going to do? Not buy bread when I'm older because I don't have a 401k? It doesn't matter.
Well, the bread will just be price locked, David, so it don't matter if I have a 401k.
Oh, good. Well, perfect. Then you can have any information you want anyway. I won't even need Social Security because I'm already going to be getting universal basic income checks courtesy of Andrew Yang. I'm already going to have prices fixed courtesy of Kamala Harris. My son's college is going to be free thanks to Bernie Sanders. None of this is going to matter. It doesn't matter. We don't even need money. We're all going to be indentured servants.
To AI.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, AI will take care of it, David. Money will be obsolete because we'll know
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just put in the chip and climb in the fucking pod. You know?
Eat the bugs. They won't even eat. The thing with the bugs that I don't understand, if they're already putting you in a pod, like, can't they just IV drip you? Like, I'm not going to be in the pod physically eating bugs. Just IV drip me or something, right? They can do something else. They don't need the bugs.
Bugs. Like, you know what they do with like tofu to make tofu turkey? They will just do that with bugs. Like, I think that's the thing.
Well, they do that. They do that now.
Yeah,
I don't remember what the ingredient is called, but if you look at
I know exactly what you're talking about, but they are not going to tell you. You're going to actually think it's hamburger. It's going to be bugs.
Yeah. Well, like, that's the thing. Like, right now, the ingredient isn't crushed cricket powder or anything. It's like some scientific term that means crickets. Like, the average person, even if they read the thing, doesn't know what it means. Like, there's already certain products that have crickets and other bugs inside of it. It's fucking wild. I'm not on board for the crickets personally. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'll eat regular food. Maybe some eggs from our chickens.
No, don't eat too many eggs, David. You know, it's not as healthy as Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast.
But that has crickets in it, man.
Our ancient ancestors only had breast milk, David, clearly, but no cereal. So,
do we get into? You know what? We need a little bit of levity before things get bad. My light turned off. I don't know why my light turns off. It's a bad light. It's not a good light. Do we need some levity before we get into the UK declaring everyone terrorists?
Fuck the UK. I cannot wait to just go over there, David. I'm gonna help overthrow their country before my own because I'm just gonna go over there all pissed off like that fired up American man.
Wait.
What? Chopzilla, David.
Oh, this should work. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right. Let's do this. Let's get into the person who think they need to post pictures of themselves. Start screen share. Let's do this, Ryan.
Oh, research.
Ryan, ready? Here we go. All right, perfect. Yeah, this is for research purposes. So, this is what started it all, Ryan. This congresswoman.
Scroll a little lower, Dave. A little lower.
See it?
No, my head's in her
I don't know if I. Oh no! Oh, we're in the actual post. Here we go. Good.
A little lower.
Better? I mean, we don't really even need that much. There you go. that better?
Oh, no.
A little
Oh,
lower?
yeah. What's up, America?
Perfect?
Yeah. It's pretty
America?
American, right?
Okay, so this congresswoman is the woman that's she has the American bathing suit on. This is the woman that started it all. She posted this picture somewhere on social media, probably on all of her social media platforms, including her OnlyFans, I'm guessing. And this started the debate of should congresswomen be dressing like this? And we can get into that if you want, but really, I just want to get into all the people who have shown support for her. So here's a couple. I mean, this is Lauren Boebert. I don't even know how to say that. That's her. For support and research purposes, of course.
I did not know she just had it. Look at
I
this.
think well, that's definitely not her.
Pelosi.
There were a couple others, I think, too. But the point is, it's a pie. I don't. No, thanks. The point is, I don't know, Ryan. What's the point? There was probably a reason.
Look, I'm going to tell you. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. You can
my producer to turn my light on, but she's not here.
You can take your clothes off, okay? As a woman, you can take your clothes off and have the attention of men.
Definitely can.
Or you can lead and be a professional and keep your clothes on and have the dignity and respect and the mutual understanding that you're there for a common purpose and be driven with men to complete the mission. You cannot do both. I don't think you can do both. I don't think you can be a congressman and take your top off. Now,
I gotta say, it's tough. It's tough. I probably realistically, I agree.
Yeah, I just don't want. Look, I have no problem with them doing it or what. I'm just like, if I'm looking at I don't think Tulsi Gabbard is doing this. You know, like posting and posting it out there, and then
fairly reserved, honestly.
Yeah, and it being like taking a picture of you while you're on the beach and it's shared at TMZ like a paparazzi photograph are different. But I don't look at that woman as like a elected official in that photograph. I'll be honest with you. I'm not viewing her as like the representation of America.
No, quite frankly, if I saw that, I would think she was like a center right IG thought.
Yeah, or
like truthfully, I'm half expecting a link to the OnlyFans. Like honestly, if I'm being truthful, like that doesn't seem like somebody I'm expecting policy from. That doesn't mean she isn't intelligent and can't put forth good policy. I'm sure she is and does.
Isn't it counterintuitive also that like the whole idea of being in the position of Congress is that you don't have to take off your clothes to get attention and to be empowered and to lead and do the very thing that I'm describing as far as like what women actually provide to a workplace, which is like a lot of times, let's be honest, women are more organized and they're more punctual. They pay attention to detail. They raise like the morale. I like being around women more than men. Like just naturally, like guys are fucking uptight and stiff and they're jealous of other men a lot of times and more insecure than women are. Women are catty, but like at least women are insecure. My point is like women have their own qualities that they bring to them and like you don't necessarily have to you get way more attention if you can, because to be honest, you could dress pretty provocatively as business casual and it still not be slutty. It can be very tasteful, and honestly, I've told this to women in my life, you get way more out of men that way. Like when you're almost like a pinup girl, not quite, but like a more covered up than a pinup girl, but like that, like daring, like damsel, you know, like you will shut men down, dude. And you will have them eating out of the palm of your hand and you barely have cleavage. It's about your personality. And I know she's a congresswoman, but this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm supposed to believe that you can lead the country when you're more focused about the validation of people on the internet. Because let's be honest, that was for validation. That's a thirst trap from my congresswoman. That's not like like they're supposed to be better than the IG hoes. Now, I'm not hating on. Let's be honest. It's probably a knock that conservative women are probably more attractive on average, right? That's like been the thing online, has been a joke. And, you know.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
They do have elected officials. You know, short of AOC, I don't think
I almost wonder if we're going to. No, they don't. Literally outside AOC have nobody. And she's a 7 at best. You know what's interesting, Ryan? I'm curious if we're gonna get like
video of her day.
I wonder if we're gonna get desensitized to
can't stop kitty porn.
A point.
Get AI porn off the internet. Never ceases to amaze me. The power, David. Powers that be. Nope. Once it's created, you can never erase it totally.
Ryan, I wonder if we're gonna get desensitized to the point where like 50 years from if this picture is going to be like how we view like flapper girls from like the 20s, like where it's like their ankles are showing, you know what I mean? Like, is it going to get so extreme that 50 years from now this is going to be a tame photo?
Honestly, dude, I think it's going to go the other way. Like eventually, not that women are going to be veiled up. I mean, if we're invaded by enough certain ideologies, if you know what I'm saying, David, we might be all veiled up here. But I think it's got to go the other way. So things tend to balance out. If you kind of look, even women's fashion is kind of going baggier. Men's fashion is kind of going baggier. Now, I think that's because most people are kind of fat now. But like girl jeans.
I was literally just going to say, so that's because people are overweight.
Yeah, I actually had to go down a shirt size and pant size. Like my pant size is almost like a kid's now. When it used to just be like a regular male size of a 30-32 or 32-32, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, dude, it's, you know, there's a lot of things at the bay here, but my elected officials should be more focused on the policies of this nation, not showing her ass cheeks on the internet. Because I don't respect women. Honestly, I don't respect women that do the thirst trap pictures. As far as like, you know what I mean? Like I don't hate sluts. Believe me, I'm a pig too. I can be pervert like the rest of the men out there. Believe me, I've been there. But like I'm different stage of my life, or I'm more mature, whatever, or you know whatever you want to say. It's just it's not what I like. This is not what Wonder Woman is doing. This isn't what the women of old were doing to get recognition. The women in those positions got there because they didn't take off their clothes. So you shouldn't probably be taking off your clothes while you're in those positions.
No, I agree for sure. Certain positions for sure, but in these ones, definitely not. Ryan,
certain positions for sure.
I wanted to get that out of, I wanted to get that out of the way in case something happens, because in the future of politics globally, and certainly in the UK, it appears as if we may get treated as terrorists, Ryan. This comes from the Home Secretary orders review of counter-extremism strategy to tackle violence against women and girls. I know they put subcontext violence against women and girls, but it's not even all physical violence. What they're saying is that literal misogyny is going to be treated as terrorism. I don't suspect that it's unrelated to Andrew Tate. Not saying that he's a misogynist. What I'm saying is that's the narrative that they're pushing upon him, and I think this is going to be a way to take him down, and people like him for that record.
Well, don't worry about the boxing match when biological males are punching females in the face at a global level for a medal. Me speaking is more
I
violent.
would read the
than
article, but
actual violence.
I can't.
Me speaking about being a man, in my opinion, is more violence and terroristic than actual violence and terrorism afflicted on females during a professional, global, medal achieving, winning performance boxing match.
That is correct. But that's because we must be inclusive to all kinds, Ryan, and we must treat alls as they would like to be treated, or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We have men beating up women, and we're the bad guys because we have opinions. That's what this is. I mean, truthfully, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. The sub headline says violence against women. It's not. It's not violence. It's literally internet opinions of people.
Dude, maybe that's their workaround to get American citizens arrested. Is get them arrested in foreign countries for the social credit score. That's what this is the social credit score.
You know, that's interesting because if I don't know, right? Maybe
if I go over there and I'm a terrorist,
because as it stands,
I don't have rights in this country when I'm a terrorist. What happens if I'm in another country and I'm a terrorist? I probably have even less rights. Because unlike in America, terrorists have less rights in other countries than here. That's a hyperbole. Google. I don't actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a United States citizen, you're supposed to. If you're a United States citizen, you're supposed to have all of your civil liberties. Of course, Barack Obama and was Barack Obama the first? I know he had the drone striking of the domestic terrorists, but I don't think he was the first to declare domestic terrorists, was he? I think that's a age-old tradition.
I'm pretty sure the first domestic terrorist of our country, as far as presidents, was.
I know Barack Obama made it okay to drone strike. So just follow the trail here, but really, in theory, if we, Ryan, were to commit some type of misogyny on top of our podcast, for example, if we talked about dress in ways that shouldn't be purveyed to their social media audience, if we were to do something like that, thanks to the United Kingdom and Barack Obama, really somebody could drone strike us right now and it'd be okay. I mean, we are domestic terrorists, Ryan.
I will not follow laws that empower authoritarians, David.
I don't know how much of a choice you have if you get drone struck, though. Drone stricken?
Well, look, I'm going to tell you this,
drone
David.
Strike? I don't know.
Look. You got to make amends at some point, David. Edward Snowden said, don't talk on the internet because you're just adding to the thing that's going to destroy us. I can't do that. That AI, artificial intelligence of the future, that's going to make my life a living hell between now and then. I can't just willingly walk through there and not speak about it. Now, I could be super smart and build in secret like a good little bitch boy, but I'm not doing that either. I'm not going to build in secret and have the possibility of everything I build in secret be lost because I slip and hit my head or somebody backstabs me and I lose everything anyways. I'm not going to just let artificial intelligence get crafted without trying to dismantle it my own little way. Because at the end of the day, that's what I really feel like we're just battling is this algorithmic frenzy that they've thrown our way with all these different topics that still consume the same parts of your brain. Like they're literally, Alex always said it was an info war and a war for your mind. That's all this, it's all, the distraction is that they're trying to destroy the human spirit. It's not a distraction from the political race. It's literally good versus evil, and they're trying to take your soul and your mind and your will to live in your spirit. They want to crush you financially and religiously and economically, and they want to do it at your family level, your education level. They want to do it at your local level through taxation, and it's all encompassing. We talked about the full spectrum dominance with the inflation and Kamala Harris and the policies and price fixing. That is literally the perfect example of cross-spectrum dominance and the control and the war on the human spirit and the human. This is for the human race in America because we have the most rights. So when they destroy us, they destroy all rights for all of humanity that will ever exist. This is for global. This is for pro-global humans. You know what we're fighting. It's not hyperbole. That's actuality. And then they're going to leverage it and claim
100%.
that the only thing that I'm terroristic to is people that are tyrants. If I speak nothing but lies, let me speak nothing but lies in a court of my own peers, even though they don't exist. Allow me pick peers of your choosing and my choosing, then, and we'll see if I can win at least one of them over. That's the whole idea of the jury of my peers, because if one person speaks up, then none of them work. You could have 11, but that one sets me free. That's the whole point. There is no jury of my peers. That's the even more point of it. The founding fathers didn't get that far because they couldn't fucking prove it with biology. I can prove it now with a microscope that nobody's like me on Earth, because we're all, look, it's unstrand my DNA and find a jury of my peers that way, because it don't exist. But they're going to say I'm a terrorist, when in reality, all I'm doing is just speaking the stuff that I was told when I was a kid. They told me to believe that we, the people, believe at due process, believe in the rule of law, and that the Constitution and the Bible and some of these things were the greatest things ever written, and the West is to be treasured, and it's the pinnacle of civilization, and we have the scientific method and the age of discovery and the Revolutionary War that wiped away tyrants at a global level. And then I got to hear that I could be fucking extradited to the very place that my forebears rebelled against, so that we had the greatest of all the great could ever exist in. And I'm told to just shut up and it don't matter.
Well, don't.
And once again, here's the
don't
problem.
Don't forget, Ryan, when they're choosing the jury of your peers, they get to throw your peers out.
Well, there's no jury of my peers. How can you make my peer a number? I'm a person. But that gets into the whole straw man debate now, doesn't it, David? And how your social security number, which was hacked, so now it doesn't even matter. They can just, maybe they hacked the social security to just give everybody a new number. Did anybody think of that? We're just going to make a global database. We might as well. It already happened. Nobody thought of that one, did you? As part of the social credit score.
Well,
you didn't think of that, did you?
We're all global.
There is a global tax.
Yeah, we got a global tax. That's fine.
Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a global policy implemented somewhere that if Social Security was ever hacked, or if there was ever a breach, or eventually if we get to a place of global government, this is the policy we would enact. They have this policy laid out that they're doing, that if it was hacked, I guarantee you this is a policy somewhere in government. Because if I thought about it, they thought about it. The military let it get hacked, as far as I'm concerned. I forget what tangent I was in before all that, but I'll tell you this right now. Like, I'm not going peacefully and quietly, and like I said, the country that I'm not going to be extradited to no country. Go ahead, do it. I'm not talking tough. I'm going to be scared like everybody else would be. Go do it. Do it, England. Fucking do it. Don't make threats. Don't make threats. You're threatening citizens from another country. And it always starts at the extreme behavior. It always starts with the Alex Joneses, David.
Right, because you have to start with the most justifiable, right? Because that's how you win the war. You softly win it. You can't just go hardline to, well, that guy said he didn't like the Prime Minister of the UK. Everyone online would be like, that's to take that guy away? Like, that's fucking crazy. Well, this guy said he was going to blow up a hotel room. Well, he's a terrorist. Do you see the difference? Does everyone see the difference, though? Everyone, if you're watching, do you see the difference? If somebody says they arrested somebody who said he was going to blow up a hotel room, well, he said he was going to blow up a hotel room. He sounds like a terrorist. Oh, he didn't agree with your COVID lockdown policy. Man, you threw him in jail? Really? Like, because his opinion on the COVID lockdown policy wasn't the same as yours? That seems a little crazy. They have to start with the terrorist who's going to blow up the hotel room. They have to work their way down. It has to work backwards. They can't start disagreeing on the internet. The social credit score needs to be built brick by brick from the foundation. They don't start with the roof. The foundation is the man whose social media post is going to put him in jail for 20 months in the UK. That's the foundation. I promise you, they will get to you.
Yeah,
You're going to be the second story, the third story. You're going to be they're going to get to you.
And by the time they do, guns will be too expensive, bread will be too expensive, your testosterone will be too low to fight back, your kids will be indoctrinated in the education system, so the youth that you left to the earth to fight back won't even be strong enough and armed with the knowledge of their forebears to fight back, because they stole history from you. So how are your kids going to know real history if you don't know history? And because they don't build anything,
and even
locally, you never want to fight for the things locally because you don't have ties to anywhere, and you just think you can move to California, to Texas, Joe Rogan, and start anew because you have money, and you can just wash away all the things that you imprinted, and you can just keep influencing the neighborhood and say all this stuff. And I'm not going to have Trump on my podcast, even though you're watching Kamala Harris jump in polling, even though you saw Donald Trump and Elon Musk get 1 billion views on X. The only terrorists right now are the ones
to go even further too. They only
the establishment is terrorist behavior. I shouldn't have to say this, but I am. I'm not a misogynist for having an opinion on women, just like women are not misandrists for having opinion on men. Whether it's right, wrong, and valid, even if it's joking, even if it's degraded, we all have the right to say it. It's crazy that we have to say this. And I'm not even a tough person, David, but I'm not scared of the United Kingdom government if we beat them with a bunch of muskets and some slave-owning fucking rich white men that had to wear wigs. Okay, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of all your guns and all your tactical gear and your ability to drone strike me. You need that much power. You have that much. That's what's crazy. You're so scared of your civilian populace that you have to label them a terrorist to even target them. You have to slander. You'll say that I'm a P word. You'll say that I'm a terrorist, or that I was going to threaten to blow something up. You're going to say some extreme thing, assassinate my character, and then you're going to throttle the algorithm so that nobody knows the truth. And then you're going to say, look at the opinion online is X, Y. Look at the public polling that we gathered, even though you just selectively handpicked all the public polling because you have the algorithm to figure out which one you should poll. And then you know who to target with the algorithm of the things that you polled, so that the people that receive the polls are also the people more likely to agree with the polls. So then you can continually consort the public mass opinion. It's mass psychosis at a large level, used and utilized by the very devices that we try to communicate to fight the system with. But I'm the terrorist because I don't want hoes for elected officials. We didn't free women for you to go be sluts. Like, I don't like, this is the problem. My body, my truth. That's fine. We didn't do this for you to just go suck everybody off, dude. We didn't free you to go be whores. Well, men can be whores. Very select. A group of men can be whores. All women can be sluts. That's what you don't get. No, men are just here to keep women down. Go right ahead. Go get all the validation. Go get all the money. You're just going to sink the fucking country. We have hoes for government officials. That low bird, what was her name? She was getting felt up at an opera. She had to leave all hot and heated. I don't need to know that about my elected officials. What, fucking Mia Khalifa is going to run for Congress? Yeah, it's empowering. Yeah,
dude, Amber Rose was at the RNC convention.
Amber Rose. Believe me, I love that there is attractive women in government that have America flag shoved right up their ass crack. I love it. Believe me. Just not an elected position. Just just maybe the congresswoman's daughter, like something. That might be worse because you're raising hoes. I don't even know. Just hire a fucking model. Fuck, we got AI. Just put an AI ass on there. We don't even need to objectify women anymore, technically. So the adult film industry, it can all fold up. We have we have hot AI robots, David. We don't even need to be misogynist. We choose this now. Misogynist is a choice now, David. We choose to objectify women selectively now. And then we also have selective outrage on them. And then I'm labeled terrorist. I cannot wait to visit England. Truly. Boy. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get in my rant about the jury of my peers to be like, you filthy American.
Bottle of water.
Bottle of water. We sell bags of milk.
Here's the
What's
thing.
milk?
Bottle of water. Here's the thing. No, do they do that too? I know Canada does that. Well, I guess Canada's British Columbian.
They do have the queen
Listen,
on their money, David, but it's just ceremonial power. It's just on everything that is spent every day in the entire
it's all Veep.
fucking country. It's just ceremonial power. It's just Veep, David. Don't worry. The queen's really a good person. Royalty that fuck kids and suck the blood out of them. That's fine. They just found dead bodies outside Prince Andrew's fucking house. The asshole that went to Epstein. Don't worry about it. It's just a conspiracy theorist. They're just related to Count Dracula, okay? Literally. Vlad the Impaler from Romania, Transylvania. Conspiracy. Look it up, Ancestry.com. Sorry, David. I'm rambling. Fucking dude's burying kids outside his house.
No. So to go even further, though,
5 years younger, so he could go fuck more kids on an island. That is the only one of its kind, David. I'm so happy.
To go back to the UK thing. To go even further, they only need to put a few people in prison because that creates the threat, right? And then once they have the threat of power, that's when the mask mandate will come out and everyone will whimper and say, "Oh, I better put my mask on because I don't want to go to this building and then go to jail if I disagree with this."
It just makes me
That's
wonder
all they
if
need.
I'm in court. What are you gonna give me for fucking object? Like, dude, what? Because look, Alex Jones took the plea deal and it was still $1 trillion. What am I pleading for? To slow bankruptcy? I get a few more months. They locked him out of the building. What am I? Why are we making plea deals? They took Trump's felonies and changed the laws to make them felonies. What am I pleading guilty for? I went to traffic court and they made me plead guilty for something that I didn't even do, just so that I would save money and not get points on my license. You just made shit up. But I have to be truthful. Don't lie to... If you lie to the judge, man, boy, they'll throw the book at you. The book that you can fucking rewrite. What am I pleading guilty for? What am I making plea deals for if it's still $1 billion? They tell Alex, this isn't your show. I would have just not... That guy never shuts the fuck up. Why didn't he not shut the fuck up? Because his lawyer advised him? The lawyer he's paying out of his $1 billion lawsuit? You're out of your mind. You can't represent yourself in the state of New York unless you've passed the bar exam, David. Did you know that? So much for a jury of my fucking peers. Oh, laws are too complicated for you peasants to understand. All the more reasons to not have that many laws. You gotta plead guilty to shit I didn't even do because it's so... Whatever. I'm sorry. This fucking expedite me to go plead deal. Oh, we're going to get you with terrorism. Well, what'd you get instead of terrorism? Oh, just, I'm a third-degree pedophile now instead of a terrorist. That was my plea deal. Fucking A, dude. Just say that you did the crime, Ryan, instead of the other crime.
Ryan, we must get into the Jews. It's time to talk about the Jews, Ryan. The what?
Ben Shapiro. Is that who this is about?
DailyWire. Let's bring this up. Yep. So this is a... Now, granted, you could say what you want to say. This is a post on X. Who knows? But I do find it interesting, so we're going to go over it. This is courtesy of Censored Men on X. Daily Wire leak. Advertisers are walking. A current employee at the Daily Wire has come forward and said that the Daily Wire is struggling with both views and advertisers. From the source itself, the recent backstage live at the Ryman event was a disaster from start to finish. According to the same source, the Daily Wire couldn't sell tickets, so they asked all employees to attend and bring their families and friends. At least 70% of the audience that attended were made up of colleagues, friends, and families. Executives made a decision to not air the event live on YouTube for fear that the public would see the empty seats. They instead edited the event, released it onto YouTube the following day. Even the edited event was a colossal failure. Just 5,000 viewers watched it live. And for those who might get confused when it said, well, it wasn't going to be live. What do you mean live? That's just when it live streamed, not when it was actually live. They streamed it a day later. So that's what they mean by live. Just 5,000 viewers watched it live despite heavy advertising. Advertisers are unhappy. We've already lost millions in ad sales this year. It feels like the company is in a state of managed decline. Looks like the Daily Wire overplayed their hand when they revealed that they truly were in Israel first media outlet. And that's the screenshot of their peak viewership, 5,400.
Yeah, these are the guys that will take your wife back if they cheat. Yeah, that's what you get. Take your cheating wife back. Yeah. Cuck me back to republicanism.
This is never okay. She live streamed herself getting railed in an American flag bathing suit. Yeah, no, that's fine. Divorce is never okay.
It's never okay. She's the mother of your children. All the more reason why she shouldn't be acting the way she's acting. What do you hate? You want to disempower women?
Don't let her near your children, please. Please don't let her near your children.
Here I am with my shirt off, asking how declothing is.
Because Ryan, they're choosing to do it, Ryan. Choosing to do it. You could also choose to leave them on. Isn't that empowering?
Yeah, I mean, I would rock the AC, but I'm live streaming. Like, I'd be cold right now. Look, are we surprised about Scummy Wire?
I don't know.
Look, it's even funnier because they can claim that they're getting censored by big tech. Big tech, you must join Daily Wire Plus subscription in case of the shadow ban. That isn't shadow banning us. It's just that people see through the lies. And if you hear about ad revenue, what that tells me is that most of
they don't even
was driven there.
They don't even get to say that anymore.
100%.
Like, you don't get to say that when you, like, here's the thing. If the Crowder thing never dropped, right, where, for those who don't remember, when Crowder was looking for a new home from the Blaze, he leaked the contract offer, which basically said, if you get censored by YouTube, that's your fault. You're not making any money. That's basically what it said. It was basically the Daily Wire. We at the Daily Wire completely comply with big tech, and we're not going to fight them at all. And he said, fuck that. That's crazy. And then the Daily Wire outed themselves because, by the way, at the time when he leaked that document, he didn't say this was the Daily Wire. He just said this guy recently, and this is crazy. You better watch out for. He called it Big Con. Better watch out for him. And the Daily Wire outed themselves online publicly. We're like, "Ooh, that was us." Daily Wire, shut the fuck up. That's not nothing to be happy about. So now from that to this, no, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because the fifth conservative in their target audience is some libertarian-ish kind of, but not really so much libertarian at the Daily Wire. That kind of voter, the center right and the conservative voter, they're not dumb people. They're going to see through you at some point. Now, it took them way too long, in my opinion, but everything's different. Charleston just 3 years ago realized that the government was evil. At some point, the Daily Wire was going to have it coming. Like, at some point, they were going to start going downhill, and this is the point. So yeah, no, I'm not truly surprised. I am slightly surprised that people are tying it to pro-Israel thing. I don't think that's it, because Crowder's pro-Israel too, and he's not on the decline. So I don't think it's because of the pro-Israel thing. PBD's pro-Israel. He's not on the decline. So
yeah, Jordan Peterson's pro-Israel. I don't think he's on the decline.
I don't think it's that. But outside of that, I'm surprised that it's on the decline.
Yeah, I guess it's just really interesting to me. I mean, it's kind of funny that they were just trying to milk Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Jeremy Boring. They were just trying to milk these people like this.
Well, don't forget the "I'll never divorce my wife" Michael Knowles.
And then it just didn't. They just were missing the ball, man. I told you I wish we could pull up. Maybe I don't even know how to look this up. But the day that episode, he just said that, guys, it's just Veep, guys. It's not House of Cards. It's Veep. I wish so we could just have that on the shuffle, dude. That was when I knew. And I'm not a prophet. It's just like, dude, something is fishy. The guy told you it was Veep, so he would get you with his subscription service, so he could make millions off of his viewership. You can give a fuck. He was not in it to fight big tech censorship when his contracts are literally written lock and step with big tech censorship. But he is telling you on his program, that's on the program that is big tech. He's telling you on the very program how that they're actually this one thing. They're a publisher, not a platform, or they're a platform, not a publisher. You can't have both. He's on there telling you on their fucking panel, even though his things are written to be lockstep. Like, it's just so fake. I never was like a big Ben Shapiro fan. I just love that he owned people and that, like, I didn't always agree with him, but he was just like, yo, that guy actually seems to have facts and knows what he's talking about, but he's just weak. It's like
that's the thing. That's what we said about him in the past. Is like he's highly intelligent. Nobody will ever deny his intelligence. Highly intelligent and coward. And that's the greatest sin. That's, in my opinion, that's the greatest sin of a man, is being a coward.
Yeah, and this is the problem, because these smart people don't think people are going to check them on their cowardice. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you went to Harvard or Yale. I have worked for billionaires, dude, and I call them bro. I don't care. Dude, take all your money away. What are you? Well, you can talk fast and play violin?
Well, and he's a rapper.
Well, dude, this is the same Sam Harris shit. These
don't forget he's
highly
a rapper.
Educated people, dude. You know, I have an ego. I'm not dumb, but they think that they're just the educated and this, and they can fucking meditate their way. They can pray their way. They can Buddha their way out of not being assholes. You're out of your mind. I've always said you can't give me power. I'd be a tyrant too. I'm not stupid. Power corrupts, absolutely, David, every time. Why am I thinking that I'm the only one? The people not worthy of power need to be in power, but the people that are worthy of it aren't going to seek out power. It's counterintuitive to their character. That's like, it's the whole what we're battling right now in our space. We're watching the people that are worthy of the viewership not get the viewership, and the people that don't have the viewership, or that get the viewership, are not worthy of it. Ben Shapiro's not worth your time and attention. When he told you everything's Veep, he told you everything's Veep. It was Veep because he was writing the script for you guys. He had you on his episodes. He calls his shows episode numbers. But that's by accident, right? Ben Shapiro, Mr. Super Educated, Harvard graduate, violin playing. Just by accident, David. None of it has hidden meaning, surely. Not surprising.
DailyWire is on the decline. He's on the incline. So let's. I'm going to bring up this Candace Owens clip real quick. It's not super long, but I feel like it's worth a watch. So let me pull this up, and we'll go from there, because people online are calling her crazy, right? She's crazy. But some things I agree with, some things I disagree with. If I disagree with certain things she says, it's not because I think she's crazy. It's because I think she's maybe drawing a line that doesn't exist.
Go before they decided to establish Israel as a country. I know you've read like the short version in the classroom, and it was like, oh, the Holocaust happened, and then we realized that Israel needs a state. No, that's not how it went down. That's not how it went down at the all. Passover, find bodies, okay, across Europe, and they were able to trace them back to Jews. Blood libel. They weren't Jews, okay? These were Frankists. And so just like Leo Frank killed Mary Fagan on Passover back in 1913 or 1914, I can't remember. This, which is masquerading behind Jews, still participates in this shit to this day. Okay, why would you want, as a small nation that is the size of New Jersey, okay, unless the nation of Israel may have been established by some Frankists. And it's looking like Theodore Herzl's family was from the exact same area in Moravia and in Bohemia, where the Frankist cult was found. Theodore Herzl, who wrote in a book that he didn't care how many Jews had to die for him to get the state of Israel, like maybe he was not actually a Torah worshiping Jew. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. And by throwing out some ideas, I mean a ton of books and figuring that Israel is our ally and friend. If another person says that stupid statement, I'm going to personally punch you in the face. It's going to be me.
UK, Ryan. That was a
She will
terroristic
definitely-
threat.
Nope, she will definitely get extradited. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Candace Owens is on a lap because she is down the path of historical persecution of Christians. If you didn't know that. I caught some content earlier. She became a Christian along the same time as Russell Brand did. And she's Catholic, I believe. So she went super hardcore. And she started diving into the history of religious persecution of Christians. And I think that's where some of this is coming from. As far as the
Ryan, I was going to say basically the same thing. I was going to say the reason she's saying all this, because a lot of people are like, well, she used to be very reasonable, and she doesn't seem so reasonable since she left the Daily Wire. Two things to that. One is perhaps she was always this way, and she was told not to be by the Daily Wire. Possible. But also the thing I think is what you said, Ryan, she's reading history. When you start reading about history, you learn more about history, and the more you learn about history, the more you find out. She's correct in a lot of what she said on this clip. Now, she made inferences based on historical context that some people would disagree with, history would disagree with, but she's not wrong about the facts.
Well, dude, it's just crazy also to see somebody like Candace Owens go down this big long thing about basically the Rothschild conspiracy, which has been like, I mean, we're talking Bohemia, Dave. What's that big owl worshiping ceremony they have? Isn't that called something? I forget like the name of it, but
Bohemian Grove. Yeah, I wonder where that term came from, right?
Yeah, it's clearly coincidence in Veep, Dave, that they just worship a big owl. It's just kind of like the Bilderberg group that just has like transhumanist statues outside of the hotel that they're at that year. No worries, David. Yeah, look, the Rothschild Israel thing's been known about. They funded Hitler with Nazi gold came from the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds were robin bears in the days of Napoleon. They lied about his conquest into Russia and Prussia. There's nothing new under the sun, David. The Hegelian dialectic, cross-spectrum dominance, attack them at all fronts until they're weak. Don't see the smoke screen. Look, freedom breeds scumbaggery to take it from you. This is the fourth turning in action. God save Candace Owens. Christ is King, and to go further, I guarantee you that her faith got so strong working for a bunch of greedy Jewish bastards like Ben Shapiro, little slime bag balls that are selling the morals founded on Judeo-Christian values, and it's the greatest thing ever. Hey, Ben, what do you support? Money. Just money. I just want money. Fuck everybody. I want money. Kill the Palestinians.
I always thought it was interesting they snuck Jewish in there, like the Judeo-Christian values. Like, no, just the Christian ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the Jews killed Christ. It's like I said on the program one time, like people are like Christians. It's like you fucking Christians didn't exist before Jesus. Like I don't understand. The Jews didn't even like the guy. That's why they don't want you talking about him. You know, it's just like it's interesting. It's just really interesting. It's just Veep guys. We just don't want you talking and saying Christ is king. He wasn't real, David. Obvious. Even though he's the most written about man in the history of the world. That's just a Christian conspiracy, David. Propagated by the Roman Empire. Even though the Roman Empire killed him. Titus Pilate.
I do like when
Pilate.
people say that there's no historical. There's
No,
no
don't
historical
worry about
proof
when
that Jesus lived. I'm like,
Jesus was taken before a Roman emperor and fucking
That's not
literally
true.
had a court. Don't worry. Yeah, it was just fabricated. Oh, they fabricated fucking century-old stone, huh? They came up with Jesus 2,000 years later and then went back and with what? The lasers that the Egyptians used, David, they fucking set the carbon date saw to 2,000 years ago. Fucking break. Yeah, I think Jordan Peterson is going to implode DailyWire from
we can get record. I don't know what you got, Rick.
Record, I'll just
I hope so.
Right.
Before you get to the record, though, one quick thing that I don't really want to talk about too much, but there's a Milo Yiannopoulos. Say what you want about him. He makes me laugh. He is starting to hint that Nick Fuentes is a Fed. So I'd be interested to see where this goes. I just want to put it out to that far so far. That's all.
Aren't all white supremacists Fed, David?
That's exactly why I believe Milo. Exactly why I believe Milo, because I've never met a true white supremacist in my life. I never met not one real white supremacist. And yet we're told they're all over the place and it's a big problem. And yet when they show up, they all show up in they get transported in U-Haul vans and they're all wearing masks. If Nick Fuentes had not be, another thing all Feds are, they're all pedophiles. There's theories going around that Nick Fuentes is at least, if nothing else, covering up for a pedophile. So maybe he's a Fed. Nick Fuentes, Fed plant. I wouldn't say I buy it completely, but I'll be 50-50 on it until I see more.
I'm not surprised. It was like, Tucker's too late, bro. Like, you got to catch up, bro. This stuff was the Social Security numbers were hacked. Your phone was hacked. Chinese spy balloons. Just think about it, people. David, does privacy even matter? Trump and Harris are tied for an election. I don't believe it. I love that she's running like she's not in power. People are not a fan of the Elon Trump interview, David, on X. Billions of views. I have yet to watch that. Very interesting, though. Two astronauts.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't listen to it either.
Yeah, to the two astronauts.
Oh, by the way, there was a during the Trump. I can't believe we didn't bring this up. But during the Trump Elon, there was the hack too that brought it down temporarily. Software update. There was a software update brought it down temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. There's always updates, David. There's just all the bugs, all those little Trojan horses got in there. They're not Smurfs that Edward Snowden talked about. Don't worry about it. Two astronauts still stuck in space, David. I'm sure Boeing is checking in with their quality control management on how to get those guys out of space.
I haven't truly been keeping up with that, but they're still in space?
Yeah, they're still up there. Maybe they should send another Boeing.
Hasn't it been like a month and a half?
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Maybe they should have Elon go save them. He can even land the rocket when it's done.
He'll be the first guy to deliver pizza up there. Johan Omar's election. is bullshit. Gotcha. The Bills won, also interesting. I forgot started already. Solar panels. Very interesting, David. Do you know why people install solar panels, David?
Yeah.
It's to keep the demand off the grid.
Oh, you get tax credits, right?
Yeah, it's to keep demand off the grid. Which makes sense, right? You just keep you generate power at your house. It doesn't have to go to the power plant and back, blah, blah, blah. Great. Here's what I'm going to tell you. They're trying to privatize all your power house because they're going to need so much fucking power for artificial intelligence that's going to melt the light poles. If we were to have all of our power not be like between all the electric car chargers and everything else, we're going to be piping down those lines, dude. You're going to need solar panels. It's not an option. We're going to need them. And they know this I'm telling you, they know this already. And they're just soft serve ice creaming at us to us. Because I actually have a customer. I have to install a car charger for them, dude. I actually have to install metal 3/4 inch conduit and rather big size wire and pull to a double pull 60 amp breaker to their breaker pan. All this stuff, dude. Electric cars are changing the way we build houses. It's going to be $2,000 to put a car charger in their house for something that mounts to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to buy one of those.
Not to mention they paid probably $1,000 to $3,000 for the charger itself. Well, you don't have to. You can charge it slowly on a regular outlet. Yeah, it's a Tesla.
He wants the full thing. He wants the full 240 charger at 48 amps, so that charges the fastest.
Yep. But yeah, if you want to use your car like a regular person, you have to do it because the other chargers that plug into the normal outlets are 18 to 20 hour. You're going to plug it in for 18 hours? Ryan, if you work an 8-hour day, do you have 18 hours to charge your car to get to and from work?
For the record, you can't even keep a car plugged in that long legally, technically.
You don't have a choice.
Well, no. Well, I just mean it goes against NEC code. Any circuit that operates that long needs to be it needs to be ran a certain way. It needs to be rated. Because you're pulling this is the thing. I never thought I need algebra, and I need algebra every day of my life as an electrician. But regardless of that, I can learn that shit. But it's just interesting because all the people that you hear talking about all this green energy shit, it's not doing what you did. They don't know what they're talking about. They literally do. I installed the solar panels on the fucking houses. They have no idea what they are talking. I barely know what I'm talking about. The people I work with barely know what they're talking about. There's no way you do. You're not even if you're a teacher, a science teacher, an economist, the manufacturer, you don't know what you're talking about. The educated people barely know what they're talking about.
Well, that's the thing. You need to be all of these people. You need to be all of these people, right? You need to be the electrician, the automaker, the teacher. You have to be everyone combined to have a comprehension of what's going on. Otherwise, you only understand bits and pieces of from the automotive side, I understand certain things. And then you just said, oh, into a regular outlet, it's got to be rated because long-term, I don't know that when I'm telling people they can plug their car in. You know what I mean? So you literally have to be 7 different experts to understand this entirely.
Yeah, dude, the wire for the car, depending on how long it's going to be, one wire could be $300, and you need 4 of those wires. And now, mind you, that's if I go to Home Depot and buy it, I know what I'm doing. A company is going to charge you material plus a material cost plus an hourly wage. It's dude, it's $150 an hour to hire an electrician. A 4-hour job and $4,000 in materials. It's $7,000, depending on how far the pole is, depending on where. And for some people it might be 50 feet, so the wire cost goes from $500 to $250. But still, dude, this isn't. Not everybody can just slap a car charger in your house, dude. You actually have to know what the fuck you're doing to do this stuff. Once again, I have to push it in pipe. I can't just buy wire. MC or Romex. I don't know if you know what that is. But I can't just buy a spool of wire, unroll it, and nail it to the wall like you can for other outlets. I have to put it in pipe and measure and put.
I could show you the Romex on my.
Yeah.
I'll show you the Romex on my walls. Yeah. All I have to do is shift the camera.
Now, you can use that for what you said, that one that you plug in for 18 hours a day that nobody can physically afford the time to do and have it charge 2%. So I have to run this big, thick-ass wire, but then it's so much more. I have to put it in conduit like it's a commercial building. We're changing the way we're building buildings based on our electrical demand, and it's never had to be thought about before. So just like, we're in a very interesting time of the transition of things. I shared a video of something on my Facebook of a guy using a hammer. One side was a sharp blade, and the other side was a hammer, and he was building a wall with just nails and drywall. And he was just scoring it and then chopping off the extra, nail, scoring it, bam, pop off the extra. It's like, dude, it's cool watching him build something. It's like just handyman and basic measuring, but we're not able to do that type of shit anymore. The world's too complicated. I found out that people still leave flowers for Julius Caesar in Rome at his grave.
Really? Like it's tradition, like yearly or something?
People just been doing it since he died, dude. People still do it.
That's kind of wild.
Harris trying to brand before Donald Trump does. I seen an article that talked about how Harris was trying to brand before Trump could brand or something else. I don't know how this woman's in power already. What are we rebranding? The Buffalo air quality had a Canadian forest fire again earlier this week or last week. The sun was red. I didn't get any notifications about my air quality control sent to my. So I guess I'm just saying that they're not telling us anything until it's a distraction, David.
Interesting.
You looking
a
up
few hours south of you. I didn't notice anything. Yeah, I looked it up. I saw they were. Apparently, there's a very specific type of flower too. The remains of Caesar's altar are a pilgrimage site for visitors from across Italy and the world. Flowers and other items are left there daily, and special commemorations take place on March 15th to commemorate Caesar's death. Remains of the temples of Julius Caesar planned Roman Forum. Yeah, so yeah, I guess people still leave them there just every day, and then there's a special ceremony once a year. That's pretty wild.
Talk about impact and legacy, huh? Yeah, I guess when I seen that,
yeah,
I mean
that's
cool.
that's. I mean, they don't like popes, former presidents. Like nobody gets flowers that far after his death every day. You know, like that's just such a. That's bordering. Like that's crazy that he still has that much pull.
Talk about impact, man. Talk about like the will to leave like your mark on the world, and like, you know, I wonder what like the men that have become almost like religious and symbolic, like a Caesar or a Jesus or all these other Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Lincoln and Washington. Like, I wonder, like, it had to be crazy. Just like because they knew, you know, Caesar knew. That's why they were doing it. Alexander the Great knew that he was doing it to be remembered forever. You ever hear Alexander the Great's 3 wishes when he died?
No.
Oh, God, look this up and then we'll get out of here. This is a better Decembertainment. Yeah. He had 3 wishes when he died. Now, mind you, this is a man that conquered all the known globe, never lost a battle. It came at a point in warfare that it basically the only person that needed to die was the king or the person leading the army, and then everybody would give up. He led from the front lines, was a military strategy. He came from Macedonia.
He literally fought like the world armies.
Yeah, and he was 18 years old. The king of Macedonia said, "My physicians alone must carry my coffin. 2, I desire that when my coffin is transported to the grave, the path leading to the graveyard shall be displayed with the wealth I collected." The king said, "3, my last and final wish is that both my hands hang out of my coffin," Alexander said. And there's a reason there's a reason that I've heard that the reason he wants his hands buried outside the coffin is that a man may obtain all the riches in life, but he must leave empty-handed or something. And it's just one of these forever totems. It's Dave, you were getting into the meditations and the Stoic and actually buying the books and flipping through them and these everlasting ideas. And the Caesar thing, I didn't even think about running into, and now here we are in some ancient history stuff that's still relevant. But I don't know. I guess more than anything, I'm learning my fascination with all these great, amazing stories have pushed me to just try to be a great and amazing man. And just, there's that saying in the movie Troy that your actions echo for eternity. And that what most men are really looking for is to be remembered for long after their death, so that their life doesn't seem like it was for nothing. So more than anything, David, I appreciate you for your time, and everybody else. For Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast, history of podcasts, until I am enslaved in a Britain and then a Chinese colony enslavement camp. I will be here. As always, David, I appreciate you the most. I'll see everybody later. And don't forget to buy the bearskin fleshlight and the the Rumble coffee. And don't forget to get your gold instead of 401k, because you can't trust the stock market. So I'm gone.
Convert into Birch Gold, and then buy your December 1775. I'm sorry, just Rumble 1775 coffee. Yeah, we'll be here until my hands are hanging out the coffin.
Later, bro.
Oh yeah, comment, share, do all that shit. See ya. Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye. Bye bye.